This video is really hard to make because there's a lot of different angles I want to show, and there's verses on the screen. Is anybody even going to hear the words or see them? You know, that's the thing that always is running through my head. Why does it even matter to make these? Because nobody's even going to care about how deep this is. But maybe somebody's going to care how deep it is, so take a journey. For then must he have often have suffered since the foundation of the world, but now once in the end of the world hath he appeared to put away sin by the sacrifice of himself. This whole first part is talking about, like, if Jesus Christ had to die over and over and over and over. That's not how it is. He came and died one time, and the way it talks about it is, but now once in the end of the world hath he appeared to put away sin by the sacrifice of himself. And so I know a guy who would be categorized as a genius, and he makes these videos about like certain things like laws of nature and very deep and thought-provoking stuff, and he uses the term chicken littles. And when I read this, I finally understood that he just thinks every Christian is a chicken little, somebody who thinks the end of the world is coming. And he knows science. He is very gifted in knowing the laws of science and nature and these things. And I'm gonna read another verse, and I'm gonna show you some scientific definitions and show you why you can be the most educated fool and not even understand, no matter how much you think you do. Wherefore, as by one man sin entered into the world, that was Adam and Eve in the garden in Genesis 2 and 3, I think. And death by sin, when he did that, death entered into the world. And so death passed upon all men, for that all have sinned. And so he did this, and we all do this automatically now, by nature. It's called our nature, what we do without even thinking about it. But so death is associated by sin, and because sin is going to ramp up, there's going to be more and more death. That's why the Bible says in the end of the world, the Bible says it's going to get worse and worse, and then it's going to go to perfection when Jesus Christ comes back and corrects it fully. But when he died on the cross, he fully corrected it. But you have a choice in the matter. You're putting a reservation. Do you want to go to the good restaurant, or do you want to go to the bad restaurant? And that's basically, in layman's terms, like just so many words. Do you want to go to the good place or the bad place? You can put your reservation in now. But when the time comes, people have missed their chance to place the order. So, why did I talk about all that? Okay, now let's talk about the second law of thermodynamics. This is science. They used their science to prove this, and they believe this in science land. The second law of thermodynamics means hot things always cool unless you do something to stop them. It expresses a fundamental and simple truth about the universe that disorder, characterizes quantity known as entropy, always increases. Disorder always increases. And we'll look at not thermodynamics, entropy right here, because this is what this is talking about. This whole paragraph is basically talking about this one word, and this one word has a paragraph definition. You see how science is really hard. I'm going to go to the second one. Lack of order or predictability, gradual decline into disorder. Gradual decline and disorder. That says this is a law. They says governs the universe. That means it's slowly getting worse and worse. And when you try to read this top one and understand it, it's not like the things are being deleted. It's like things that were hot are becoming cold, and now they can't move, and now they're just in the system. They're taking up the system space and clogging it up. And so what's the point of all this? That is science trying to explain in the end of the world. And why is it the end of the world? As it is appointed unto men once to die, but after this the judgment. Even the world itself is going to die and be judged by God. He's created it. This is his creation. And this is what's happening within the creation. Wherefore, as by one man's sin entered into the world, and death by sin, so death passed upon all men, for that all have sinned. And that's why Jesus Christ died on the cross, that anybody who would receive it, they would have their sin taken away. And they would be in right relationship with God. And in so many words, that would be getting the reservation to where you want to go next. And the Bible is just, the menu, looking at it and seeing, oh, this is pictures of the people who are going to be there and the people who won't be there. When you look in the Bible, it's not just all people who are going to heaven, but there's pictures of people who are going to hell. That's the end of entropy, is hell. But the beginning of Jesus Christ is peace and salvation.